Oh my gosh, have you heard about the so-called Apple Music Up Next curse? I mean, it's wild. So, for those who don't know, Apple Music has this feature where they pick an artist and call them up next, basically predicting they're about to blow up and dominate the mainstream. Sounds great, right? Wrong. Apparently, fans are now calling this a curse because for a lot of artists recently, it's been anything but a launchpad to success. Messy, right? Today, we're spilling the tea on 4 artists who've been hit with this so-called curse. Let's dive into their careers and see if this Up Next label really doomed them or if it's just people being dramatic. Grab your popcorn. First up, Ice Spice. Let's talk about her because, oh boy, people have opinions. She's probably the most popular name on this list, but her career lately has been shaky. And no, I don't mean the good kind of shaky, like when she's twerking on stage. We'll get to that. Now, rewind a bit. Ice Spice was absolutely on fire back in 2022. She had the streets and TikTok going crazy with her viral hit Munch. Like at one point, she had more monthly listeners on Spotify than some of your faves like Lil Uzi Vert, Trippie Redd, and even Hardy. We're talking 40 million listeners. Insane, right? Plus, she didn't just stop there. She dropped bangers like her collabs with Nicki Minaj and Pink Pantheress. Not to mention, she was linking up with Taylor Swift. It really seemed like Ice Spice was about to be the next big thing in the rap scene. But let's keep it real. Half her hype wasn't even about her music. It was about her look, and let's not lie, her twerking. Like, girl couldn't even perform without the crowd losing it every time she did. Well, that. But here's the thing. The music started getting repetitive. Same topics, same vibe, and don't even get me started on her obsession with certain bodily functions. Like, who thought it was a good idea to name a song Thank You the Girl? What? Then came her debut album, Y2K. And, oof, it sold about 20 to 30K in its first week. Not horrible for a debut, but for someone who was supposed to be this mainstream superstar, not great. The deluxe version didn't help much either. It actually got outsold by Net's album, like by double. Yikes. And fans? Oh, they've been brutal. They're all over Twitter saying she's melted or lost her spark. So, does the curse hold true for Ice Spice? I mean, let's be honest, her popularity has dropped significantly since her Up Next feature. But hey, it's not over yet. She could make a comeback this year. All it takes is one hit, right? Next, we have Sofaygo, and this one really hurts to talk about because he's been a fan favorite for so long. But woo, has his journey been a roller coaster. Sofaygo's been buzzing since 2019, but his big break came in 2021 with his TikTok hit Knock Knock. Remember that? Everyone and their mom was singing along. Then he got signed to Cactus Jack, and fans were like, yo, this guy is about to blow up. But instead of dropping banger after banger, he kind of just stopped. And that's where it all went downhill. When Faygo did finally drop his debut album, Pink Hearts, after being featured as Up Next, it flopped. Like, hard. We're talking less than 10K in sales. And the internet? Oh, they dragged him. The Sofaygo Up Next meme became this huge joke, and even now, 2 years later, people won't let it go. But here's the thing. Faygo is so talented. He dropped an amazing follow-up project called Go Plus, which was honestly his best work yet. But guess what? He went radio silent again. Like, why? Fans are begging him to drop more music, but instead, all we hear are excuses about leaks, or him just not feeling like it. So yeah, the curse? Sadly, it's real for Faygo. He's still got potential, but the inconsistency? It's killing him. Now let's talk about Teezo Touchdown, the guy with nails in his hair. Yeah, you know him. Teezo's career has been interesting. He's one of those artists who's always been around but never really popped off on his own. Instead, he's been that guy who makes your favorite rapper songs better. Tyler, the Creator? He was on Call Me If You Get Lost. Travis Scott? He was on Utopia. He even toured with both of them. Dude's got connections, no doubt. But here's the tea. Teezo dropped his own album, How Do You Sleep at Night? And while it was solid, it didn't exactly blow up. Still, Teezo's not really falling off. If anything, the Up Next title kind of worked for him. His solo stuff might not be chart-topping, but his collabs, always fire. So, for Teezo, I'm calling the curse busted. He's doing just fine. Finally, we've got Forbats. And if you're like, who? You're not alone. This guy came out of nowhere in 2023 and had everyone talking for a minute. His first big song, Act 1 Stickers, was beautiful. Like we're talking R&B vibes that gave Bryson Tiller and Party Next Door a run for their money. Then he dropped Act 2 Day Day A, and things really took off. Even Kanye and Drake gave him cosigns, with Drake hopping on a remix and signing him to OVO Sound. But here's the thing, Forbats hasn't been able to keep that momentum. His later songs? Cute, but not nearly as impactful as his earlier stuff. And now he's gearing up to drop an album this year, but fans seem over it. They're calling him an industry plant, which, let's be real, is the kiss of death in the music world. Is the curse real for Forbats? I'd say maybe. He's still new, so he's got time to prove himself. But right now, the hype isn't hyping. So what's the verdict? Is the Apple Music Up Next curse real? Honestly, kinda. Some artists like Ice Spice and Sofago definitely struggled after their features, but others, like Tizo, are doing fine. Either way, it's messy and we love it. That's all for today. Stay tuned for more tea. Bye!